Okay, so what? So what? Does any of this make any difference? No. I make a video as a diversion. Originally, of course, I thought that it would stop or perhaps wake some local people up to perhaps not participating in the patrol, control, negative system that seems to be around some people who are not part of it. Because if you're not participating in it, then you're not part of it, and then they surround and endeavour to harass and limit your normal activities, even if it's only a simple thing like going down to get a cup of coffee. Doesn't matter. It doesn't appear to matter anyway, because, apart from, like, as I've said before, apart from myself, like doing very mundane activities in a very small area too, like only going around local suburb or suburbs at the most, that seems to pose a problem to the other people that are in these areas. And that was at the beginning when all this started for myself. I had to ask myself, why is this happening? What is it that I'm doing that upsets people? Like now I make a video, so I might say, well, look, it's a bit of a joke. It doesn't really upset anyone. That's why I'm allowed to make them, basically. Because if it really had any impact, they would stop things. I would imagine. But either way, the original intention was just that maybe those that are participating might listen and realise that it's not to their benefit. Of course, I had no idea how vast it was at that time, and that was a total waste of time. But that was my original reason for actually having enough forcing myself to do something that I would never have done, because also to do it, and the reality that I do it in my own local area shows that too, because you're literally, actually I probably shouldn't have done that, probably should have, but you see, I didn't know, I didn't understand the internet and and that you don't even have to use your own name and stuff, because I didn't set it up. So I was lucky to, and it was like only set up because naturally they thought, well, you'll make a great big fool of yourself, which I kind of do anyway, but probably even more so, in the sense that they probably thought not one single person, even in the entire world, is going to think there's any validity or any sense. And probably that would, whereas there are maybe, there could be one or two people that actually do, but either way, I made that. I better keep going before I run out of space. I'm in so many minds at the present moment, because there's a personal matrix and then there's an impersonal matrix that's around. In other words, they're people you actually don't know. Of course, some of them are people that you know, because obviously you know the same people that you know people either by sight or even having spoken to people in your local area. The same with, those that live close. They may speak to you, but you don't really know them. But then again, do you really know anyone? Now that might sound a bit not being fancy, shall we say. But do you really know anyone? That is certainly how it feels now. And also not just how it feels, but it is actually what is shown to you. And I'm talking loud and confident here, but, you know, you don't really feel that. But do you really know anyone? I would have to say, I would have thought that I knew. I mean, I know very well some very negative people. But do you know anyone? And the answer to that is no. So you don't really have any connection. If you don't know someone, know what they really are, what makes them tick, or you don't understand them in any way, you can talk to them, but you're basically talking to acting. You may as well be, you know, talking to yourself or talking to, like I do all the time mainly, actors. I'm not saying that, anyway, I made that video not long ago with the Under Pressure song, but I got to be careful of copyright because I put out a few videos and took them away immediately because you can't show whole songs. You're not supposed to show a whole song while making. I didn't know that. Well, I knew it, but I thought I'd push it because I think it's nicer, because I think let's face it, the demigods express the reality better than me, even though they have literally stole the thinking and feelings from real human beings that are non-existent in this reality, at least as far as recognition goes, shall we say. I mean, we all exist, but if someone steals your feelings, because they don't have feelings, not the same way. They don't experience those higher vibration emotions. We don't either much, but that's because we're in a negative, artificially, technologically controlled matrix controlled by possessed technological, artificial android beings, essentially. That's putting it bluntly. There's a lot more to all these things, which of course I don't understand. I only observe, and they will say they observe. They are now downloading, they've downloaded to such an extent because the minute real people see it, then they have to outdo you. So they have to put videos out and cover every area of the internet and the matrix and the computer. And reality too. This also is what happens if you know people around you. So basically, you're in a total artificial android acting matrix. Control system, in other words, and a completely false reality with false people on the computer, pretending to be real life spiritual people in every sense of that word, in every area. They do it so well. And you should say, well, why do I care? Well, I care because, because they're taking my life from me. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I'd say if they left me alone, well, that sounds selfish, but I'm the first to admit that, I'm not here to save the world because this world is largely false anyway. I would certainly hope that those that are like myself don't go down. That's about all. And even that's only because I'm aware of what's happening. It does make you feel that somehow, because it's personal and you relate it to yourself, that's normal too. Even though I haven't generally done that a real lot in my life, the matrix ones don't relate to other people. They don't feel for other people. They pretend to. They act it out. They understand it, but they don't experience it. They don't feel it. They experience it, but they don't feel it. Perhaps that's the better description, because I suppose experience means, because if you're downloading, if you're watching a movie of someone else, because like when we watch a movie of other people, where it's all acting, they look at us that way. They just experience us as though we're like a movie for them. The only difference is when we watch a movie, because it's downloaded from our kind, we relate to it because because the actors in the movies usually experience all the emotions, whereas those that are around me don't experience all those emotions. They don't relate to positive human emotions. They don't like them. In other words, they find love offensive. They experience only the negative emotions. They're competitive. They're competitive with human beings to emulate them in order to extract negative emotions from them, or to bring them down so that they rule this matrix, whether it be a local area or the bigger picture, I would imagine. See, so it makes no difference. I don't think I put that very well. The only reason I'm going to put this video on again, this under pressure one, because certainly that's mimicking the humans about the under pressure. It's an offence for me to play these videos, to be honest. Whereas I once could actually enjoy them, now I find them offensive. But, I have to admit they take the human thought and present it in a visual manner and in a sound manner that is very irresistible to real people, because they seem like the best of real people in some ways. They express the ultimate human emotions and ideas. They appear to care about everything. They appear to care about everyone. It's all fake. The demigods are artificial, fake people. They don't do any of the things that people think they do. It took me a long while to realise how false they really are. Yes, they have beautiful voices, so they can sing. That is what they are developed for. But everything else that they project, I think, is false. You might say I'm taking it to a bit of an extreme, that they might perhaps diddle something, shall we say. Because I think some people might even agree that some of them don't do as much as what people might give them credit for. But either way, that's not the point. I'm going on here too long. I accidentally cut that video off which is probably just as well for copyright, otherwise it might not have been allowed to go through anyway. But I accidentally pressed the knob when it said on that video, when it was about to say, why don't you give love one more chance? Why can't we give love one more chance? Why can't we give love one more chance? One more chance. You notice how it says one more chance, as though you've given it a lot of chances. There's no reason for them to have those lyrics. They're pointing the finger at us because they know we're fed up. They know that we know that there is no love for us in most people. And they're mocking us and saying, why don't you give love one more chance? Can you give love one more chance? Will you give love one more chance? Because they know we won't. They know we won't. They know we won't. Because we know that if we take that risk, because it's got to the point now because of lack of a normal, because it will vary from each person. You know, but like if you see giving love one more chance will lead to your own downfall, and that it looks based on past experience and on the reality, and more information comes to light, so then more doubts come into play. And that is part of this matrix game. Even I have lost sight of what is the real truth. I would like to know the real truth, but if I don't, then like I say, you can't give love one more chance if you are giving it to the demigods or the demigod disciples or those that are in collusion with the demigods, the matrix and its control matrix, its control earth world. Any that are combined watching you, trying to slow you down, trying to inflict injury onto you, trying to stop you from giving anything one more chance, even just your own existence, are part of the matrix, whether they know it or not. Some of us are played so bad that we're playing for the matrix even though we wouldn't consciously want to be part of it, I sometimes think. But that's giving the benefit of the doubt. And for some reason, while I'm saying this, it feels like déjà vu, as though I've said it before. As though I've said this same thing and I'm standing here in the same spot and have said it before and that I'm doing it again, but I've forgotten. That was very strange just then. Why do I sometimes feel as though I'm saying the same things over and over again? And why is my hand throbbing with pain even though I'm not doing anything? Because I'm probably too close to some technology. Yes, I'm holding a mobile and going to hold a whatever, but it was like it before I held these things, so. But either way, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm even doing this. This is just a diversion. It is very late at night, and I've turned the lights off apart from the TV, so that way I can fake it a little bit myself, because let's be honest, a little bit of, I know none of it makes any difference now, so I don't really care as much as what most people would. I can't imagine why we have to put on a pretense with this world going down the way it is, and yet we still do. Even I do a little bit. like as though it matters. Because when I first made a video, that was the only reason I made a video. I thought, oh, I don't want to show myself or be showing anything of myself to where anyone can watch in the world, you know. But I thought, hey, the world is going down. None of it makes any difference. It's all so false. If you really believe that, then you will throw down the barriers, because you will know that your real survival depends on doing that. That was something that I'd never done in my life either, and it's uncomfortable. But if you really thought you were going to everything over tomorrow, and that what you're doing now will decide that, somehow, certainly I feel as though there's nothing to lose. I have to admit that. And why not, as that song goes, notice how, and also I've noticed that on the internet now they're all singing and playing songs and relating to songs, you know, because they have to outdo even an idiot like me. Because it makes them look human, you see. That's how I know that they're not. That's how I can spot the ones that aren't. If I didn't think about it really strongly like I do now, I'd miss it too, even though they're actually copying humans in order to pass themselves off and to get the attention. Because don't forget, if all these androids are getting the attention, doesn't matter whether it's through a video or the demigods, whatever, all these ones, or even just on the street, if they're faking it, they're taking from the real humans. They're pushing them down, making them limited, suppressing everything about them like they do with us. So that way, you know, they've got full control of the reality that way, of everything. And, I better be quiet here and just play a video. I'm losing track of what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying, actually. Okay. I'll try to use the visuals to show something, but I'm sure people have seen all these things before anyway. I haven't seen some of them until recently. I'm familiar with some of the songs, but haven't seen every video because I don't check, you know, some videos I'm familiar with, some I'm not. Oh, okay. Oh. Sorry about all the over-the-top, you know, way that I carry on. I'm sorry about that. Okay, this is hard because I've got to have two gadgets in my hands and I don't like touching things, so this is a problem. And I haven't watched this video enough to film it well either. I should have watched it. You probably need to watch a video about 10 or 20 times to know what you're going to show, but I just haven't had that. So I'll just have to, so it will not be good. I hope the sound won't come out till I turn it up because I don't want to be up for copyright. Okay, the song is starting. I'm going to try. I don't want to show. Look at the massive crowds of these people too. Look at the crowds these people command, these demigods, even when they have a concert, like the massive numbers. The adulation, look at that. You know, like to basically false android copycat people. And the red. Okay, the terror of knowing what this world is about. Something about good friends let me out. Look at the red there in that one. Red, they like the red. They always have their screens all covered in that red matrix god colour, I think. This is a live version of the song, and I just thought that the visuals were a bit more interesting for the... in fact, I think I'm going to actually... I think I'm actually going to turn this video off. Oh, gee, there was a massive red there. It's almost as though the stage is like on fire with this. Oh, now I've messed up the internet here. I'm so sorry. Oh, here we go again. This is going to be a long, drawn-out video because I've buggered up the screen, as you can see. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I'm losing it already. I've got to get back onto the YouTube. See, I'm subconsciously pressing the wrong knobs, or maybe there's pressure around me, influences around me that are making me where I can't even record a video properly. Not when I'm trying to do something a bit more arty by using the videos. See, it's not even coming up for me here. It's not even coming up, and I'm in pitch black dark. I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, bugger it, I'll have to start again. I'm so sorry.